Hey friends, today I want to talk to you about how I've been using the bullet journal system this year in 2020 and what things I've sort of changed from past years. I've been using the bullet journal system for a few years now, and each year I tend to make a video talking you through how I'm setting up my bullet journal and showing you how I use it to stay productive and get things done. Every year that I set up a new journal, I like to look back on what I felt worked from last year and what I want to do again, or what new things I want to try. And there's been a few developments this year. I'm doing things a little bit differently. I've maybe gone off the official bullet journal system just a little bit, but I want to show you anyway because it's still the intention behind bullet journaling is still there. It's an analog way to quickly take notes, arrange your life, organize things and to-do lists and get things done. And it is my main method for organizing my day-to-day and weekly tasks. So without further ado, let's jump in and I'll show you how I've been using the bullet journal system for 2020. Alright, so let's start with the book itself. This year, as with last year, I've been using the Leutram 1917 journal with the dot grid. I've got a second camera set up here so I can show you what I've got going on. So see, it's just a page with small dots. And then I've been using the Muji 0.5 nib gel black pen. It's been my favorite ever since I started bullet journaling, and it's my favorite thing to write with, so I keep a stock of these. This one I broke the end off, but hey. First thing that I set up in my bullet journal for this year, as I do every year, is the future log. So this is how I set mine up, just with a calendar, the month, and then the days. And I like to put an underline on the days that I'll be away from home, traveling somewhere, and then a box around the days that I take as vacation days. So as you can see, because of this whole pandemic thing, really it was only January and February that had any travel in it. The rest of the year, all of this travel and any plans I had have started to be cancelled. So I haven't found myself honestly using this future log as much. It definitely was more of a travel vacation planning thing for me. What I've been trying to do though is plan what I want to do each month while I am at home and putting some like monthly focuses in next to the months. So in April, I really focused on creating a font that I'm currently working on and should hopefully be launching soon. This month actually, because that's what I put as a focus for May, is to get that up for sale as well as arranging a new series that I'm working on. This has been how I've adapted the future log this year. It's been more about planning what I want my focus to be for each month. Since I'm not traveling, and so I don't need the future log for travel plans, sadly, at the moment. Let me bring over last year's journal just to show you what I used to do for each month. So the start of my months used to look something like this, where I'd have one page with all of the days with travel that's happening or events to be aware of. And then I'd plan out each week separately in here so that I could make sure I was getting the things done that I needed to for the week. Near the end of last year, I found myself just not flipping back to this page enough and not actually making use of it. I would forget things that I had planned to work on because I wasn't looking back at this page. And I've talked before about how habit trackers, which I have one of these that I tried last year as well. I'm great at making a habit tracker at the start of the year in a bullet journal and then just forgetting to come back and actually mark it off with actually, working on the habit. I'm not in the habit of looking at the habit tracker, let's say that. So I have a new system for figuring out my monthly plans now that actually is not in my journal at all. So this is what I mean when I said that I was going off script for the bullet journal. I've been using a little note card that looks a little like this. I'll put it under this camera here so that you can see it a bit clearer. These sit on a little calendar easel that I have on my desk, and I've actually just been writing on the backs of a calendar that my friend Alexis gave me last year, these sheets, and you just sort of like move it for each month, I've been making my own calendar to use as a habit tracker and to use as planning for the month. The reason that habit trackers haven't worked for me inside a bullet journal is for it to truly be something that is going to reinforce a habit and to help me get something done, help me build a habit. I need to be able to see it. It needs to be in front of me all the time. And it's just too easy to ignore, to be honest, if I'm having to flip back to a certain page in my bullet journal to check if I've done that habit or not. That's just not something that's going to work for me. But what has worked though is having this calendar. So here's how it works. I draw out a little calendar on the card. And then what I've been tracking mainly has been exercise. So every day that's circled is a day that I did a purposeful workout. So I'm really proud of this, honestly. This is like the most that I've worked out in probably, a few years' time to get this many workouts done in a month. Definitely has something to do with being stuck at home and, you know, not having anywhere else to go, but to do at-home workouts. But yeah, it's also really helped to have this habit tracker. So it sits next to my desk and I can always see it every day. I can see that the day hasn't been circled yet. And so if I want to keep that promise that I made to myself, then every weekday I need to be working out and need to have that day circled. You can see here on the 12th I have a cross. Something I also want to track is writing. Days that I actually set aside writing time, get some writing done. I only did it once in April though, so that's not impressive, but like looking at this, I can see that I only did it once and it tells me that I need to be prioritizing it more, you know. Something else I really liked from my plan for the month in last year's bullet journal though was picking a focus for each month, a focus for what I was going to work on. When you have a full-time job and side projects, it's really hard to get everything done that you want to. There is always more ideas than there is time in the day to fulfill them all. So setting a focus, an intention for the month that I want to finish my font, and then some notes about what things that I needed to do in order to make that happen, as well as a couple of other little tasks that I needed to do as well, like taxes, fun stuff. But this sits next to my desk and I see it all the time, what my focus is, if I've worked out that day, what the next thing might be on my list of things to work on, and that's been super useful and I'm loving the system. So I know it's not technically a bullet journal, but the idea is the same, right? It's an analog tracking of tasks and helping me get things done. So yeah, I just wanted to share that has really been helping me on a monthly basis. I didn't actually plan out any other set pages at the start of this journal like I did last year. I just think the start of the year was honestly, it was a busy time. I was in New Zealand traveling, visiting my family, and I wasn't really thinking about planning ahead for my year in terms of my journal. So what I have been doing for this is using it as a space to keep project plans for any projects that I'm working on. So at the moment, working on my font. My goal with it is to launch it and start selling it. And so this is where I can keep a running list of everything that I think of that needs to happen in order to make this project come to life. So this is where I put tasks when they're not assigned to a certain month or a certain week. I just know they need to happen at some point. And so I write them in here so I can remind myself what needs to happen for it. So in terms of the day-to-day tasks, as you can see, if you haven't seen one of my bullet journal videos before, by the way, I'll just say this now that they are not neat. This is not one of those beautiful bullet journals that's super artistic and creative. No, mine is fully about just being productive and getting things done, and I have very messy handwriting that probably only myself can read, but that's okay. So let's take a look at some of my weeks. You'll notice these pages are all a little bent, and that is because I have been using a new way to plan weekly and daily tasks that I saw on the YouTube channel Plant-Based Bride, I think was her name. She had a video talking about her bullet journal setup and showed this method for your week, and I really liked it. So let me show you how it works by setting up a new week, I guess. So tomorrow, Monday, is going to be May 11th. So I just write the date up the top here in a little box. Next to it is May 12th. We'll just continue on across the page. Then what I'm going to do is fold this page in half. Then on the side here, I'm going to write this week. So now, are you seeing where I'm going with this? I can have this folded over and I can write in here a list of all of the tasks that I need to get done this week. And then no matter what day of the week that it is, I'll be able to see those tasks and remind myself of what I need to be getting done and fitting into my time throughout the week. I like to split my tasks into work tasks and personal tasks, and how I've been doing that is writing work tasks up the top of the page, personal tasks on the bottom half. So for example, tomorrow night I have Spanish class, so I'm just going to write that in there. I have been using the bullet journal system still of the bullets themselves. So a circle like this means it's an event. If it's a task, like say I need to do my Spanish homework. Oops, I just wrote homework for that one, didn't I? Class, homework. We're messy around here. A dot like that means it's a task that needs to be done. And when I do it, I cross it off. Here's an example of some crossed off tasks on other days. Then I have my work tasks above. So I know tomorrow I need to do like catch up. I need to work on a wireframe, so those come up the top of the page. And this column here of the this week tasks tend to be mostly life admin, side project tasks, and I'll kind of group them as I go if I can. Like I know I need to respond to concepts. They want to interview me for their blog. That's the thing I need to do next week. So that's going to be there. And every day that I'm planning out my tasks for the day, I'll be able to refer over to this side and see that that's something I haven't done yet that I need to fit in at some point. Because CS, we get to, what is this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We just flip it over. And we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we always see that this week on the side. I think it's super cool. Let me show you it in action with the previous week. See, we just got all our tasks. Thursday, I could flip it over and still see that. It works so well. I love the idea, and this is definitely feeling like it's getting more into like organized planner territory. But what I still like is that anytime I need to, I can take a full page just to start, you know, writing some notes whenever I need to. This was about, this was some notes from a meeting that I had with a colleague. So it just hangs out in the middle there. So my notes are kept alongside my tasks still. I think I've talked about before how I haven't in the past really got along with, you know, planners with boxes drawn in them set up for you, because it's a little bit confining and I like the freedom that a bullet journal brings. So yes, like I said, this is sort of limiting that freedom a little bit, but I still definitely feel like I have the control to make it be whatever I need it to be, and it's been helping me get things done for sure. I've been so productive these past few months using this method of doing my weeks in particular. There's lots of things that would usually fall through the cracks that I've managed to get done. So that's been really cool. At the start of every week, so like right now it's Sunday, so I'll probably sit and do this after I film this video actually. I like to plan what I need to get done this week in terms of moving my projects forward, whatever my focus is for the month, which this month is getting my font launched. Write them down on the side in this list, and then start to plan out the next day. I don't like to plan out too many days in advance though. So I'll just see what I get done tomorrow and then move on to planning the next day on that day itself, or maybe in the evening the night before. So that, my friends, is a look at how I've been using the bullet journal system this year. I hope you're not disappointed in this video, because I know that it is very different from the beautiful, gorgeous, very structured bullet journals that I see. Honestly, I do believe this system is about helping you get your work done, and so the point of it is that it can be flexible to adapt to whatever you need from it. And what I need from the bullet journal system right now this year is something that's more focused on the day-to-day tasks and getting them done, just like getting my life in order, and it's been really helpful. That, along with using my separate calendar system, taking some of the ideas from the bullet journal, but having it on show all the time, keeps things top of mind for me and helps me get things done without me having to like rewrite my monthly focus at the top of every single page in my journal, for example, which is something I've seen other people doing, but it's not something that I can be bothered with. Thank you for watching this video. If you use a bullet journal system yourself, I hope this video gave you some ideas for some things you could do to be more productive with it. Or maybe, like me, there's some things to do with the bullet journal system that you just haven't been able to connect with and it hasn't been able to help you, like habit tracking, for example. Maybe this video has given you some ideas for how you could make that work, taking the idea but using it in a slightly different way. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good week. And if you're not subscribed to my channel already, I'd love for you to click that subscribe button. I normally make videos about design because I'm a designer, in case you're new around here. And every now and then I talk about productivity and getting things done, remote work, that sort of thing as well. So yes, hit subscribe, make new videos every single week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.